Hello everyone, I am Xie and welcome back to my channel. Just kidding, this is my dog Finn and I brought him to Tinypinc studio. This is where we are going to learn how to do claypins. Now, how did I end up here is a story that I would tell. Well, long story short, I actually approached her for how to make clay pins, and she offered me her space and her materials for me to learn how to make clay, shape them, and also how to bake them, which is pretty awesome because Tinypinc is a miniature clay artist, and where she would craft miniature items in a very tiny matter, and she sells them on her online shop. I will put her link, and also she has YouTube too. I will put all her links down below the description box. She has a very kind soul, so give her a shout out if you can. So this is where she guide me how to actually flatten those clays. When I was trying to do this, I'm absolutely very lost because I am not actually a crafty person. I have never tried doing clay. This is totally my first time doing clay, and I've never done clay before when I was young because my family, we were pretty poor back then, so I never worked anything related to art back then, just with crayons, I believe. And so yeah, this is how it is. I think I spent about 4 to 5 hours in this studio, and time really went by too fast. I wish I could have stayed longer, but my dog I think he needs to go home and try to take a nap. He couldn't take a nap in that space because it's a total new environment and he gets too excited. And yeah, so that's how it is. And I think I did about 8 pins. I aimed to do 10 pins at that time, but I really couldn't do it because I feel like my fingers are totally sore. So kudos to Tinypinc because she did all this by herself. And also one of her helpers. And these are so wonderfully detailed. Like, don't you want to own one of those items? So that's how it is. We're gonna cut to my studio right here, and I think I continued on this project like a month and a half later, all because I need to order those materials online, and during MCO the delays are real. Like, you need to wait a week or two, and in between that there's the 2-week delay for something unknown that I would never know. And so I'm using acrylic gouache by Holbein and also by Turner. So I'm actually trying to differentiate between these two paints, and I gravitate towards Holbein ones because their paints are buttery and very smooth, really easily to smooth on, and I would highly recommend you guys to try using the Holbein acrylic gouache for your pins. And they're not really that expensive in Malaysia, especially if you find in Stickerific. It's about 15 ringgit per tube, and I think it's pretty worth it if you want to do this for a hobby or probably for art markets. And so this is how I actually trying to do some details. I was thinking, how can I try to add colors on my clay pins. And that when I paint things on paper, it is totally different, and so I need to adjust on how much paints I needed to paint on pins. Apparently you need like 2 layers of paints, judging on how I actually paint. And this is a strawberry cat that I reference my older works. And I was trying to figure out the color, and I really don't have much planning on this. I'm just color based on what I see, what I have in mind, and try to bring it out on these clay pins. If you have noticed that my audio is a little bit different, that is because I finally saved some money to get myself some mic. sis got her own mic now. I feel like I'm a YouTuber or something, but not really. I don't feel like one. I feel like this would actually, make my workflow much more faster. I used to record my voice with my camera, where I'm just talking to the camera on top of the camera mic and try to edit this, and it's actually not that good because I have to recharge my battery just for my voice recording, and on that day itself I need to record for another content. So that's why it took me quite a while to prepare videos for my channel, and I feel confident with this new mic. I'm able to increase my workflow efficiency and probably give you more content in the future. So yeah, having a mic is actually very good whenever you have like a voice call or some meeting. But I digress. I have to cut down this video to 10 minutes or so. It's because of the full length of me painting and repainting and layering and all that stuff. It took me about 40 minutes for this video. I think it would just bore your heart out, so I realized I need to cut it out. I need to speed things down to make it short and brief, and also it will help me to simplify my voiceovers, because girl, I may be talkative in life, but whenever I do voiceovers I feel like my heart is at my throat right now, and I don't feel probably not comfortable talking to the mic yet. There are a lot of mistakes that I made along the way, like for example where I painted too thinly, in a sense that I added too much water on paint, and so it appears to not fully coated on the pen, and that's why it looks very blotchy. So things like this I have to reconsider to spend more time on these clay pins, and that's why it took me longer than I thought. But I think it's actually pretty normal to make all these mistakes, because I absolutely have no idea how it really feels to paint on polymer clay, and so I give myself 4 to 5 days to finish this, whereas resin is another story, because I've never used resin ever in my life, so this will be a different arc for me to learn. There's a story behind this rabbit, is that my theme for these clay pins is animals in hats, where I followed from my recent sticker pack that I launched last year. This bunny, the colors are based from my favorite ice cream flavor, which is the mint chocolate chip ice cream. Let me know if you are in the same boat, because I feel it's the best flavor out there, and I would die for mint chocolate chip ice cream, and it's really hard to find around my area. I didn't really think about adding a party hat to my awkward bread because these bread pieces are just for me to experiment. It's just for the fun of it. For this strawberry cat, you can see one of my paintings I did for my sticker pack, and I actually refer to it because sometimes I forget how it really looks like, and I really like how the eyes turn out that you will see in a few seconds time. I just love the awkwardness. Like, anything about awkwardness is just so relatable to me. I mean, I am quite socially awkward in person. I think it's because I did not social as much since young. I've been doing art for all this while, and social for me is very necessary at this time and age, but it is also a skill that I have to learn. So anyway, this is a hornbill that I wanted to do for experimentation, just to see how it looks like on a clay pin, and I really like how it turned out. Mainly because I've never seen hornbills in party hats before, so I wanted to create one. And the last two are the long-haired dachshunds that are based from my dog Finn, and I added sparkles on it because who doesn't love sparkles. So this is how the finished product, how it looks like before I glazed it with UV resin. So you can actually see the surface is a little bit rough, more fingerprints on the surface, but I feel like you want to go for a rustic move. So this is where I did the resin thing. Before I filmed this, I actually added 2 layers of resin, and this is the 4th layer of resin, plus me adding super glue. It's an industrial version or E6000 glue that I attach on the back side, and I didn't show you guys that I actually added another layer of resin. So much resin. So this is how the final look, and I just wanted to put it up on my shop at a very seemingly lower price because I just want to see I just want to test the market whether these products can work before I can commit further. And I created these backing cards because I just wanted to DIY them. I can't actually make 100 cards, can I? Of course I can't. And so I actually make a slit behind just to, you know, hook those pins behind, and that's how it looks like. And you can actually view them on my Etsy shop. I wish I could explain more in detail, but I am really in my beginner stages. So with more practice, I wish that I can actually share more details on what I feel about painting on clay pins. And thank you so much for watching. I'm sorry if I sound very awkward throughout this voiceover, and yeah, thank you, and I hope you can stay healthy and stay safe. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.